Today on episode 226 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our NBA and NHL Playoff Recap, Stump Boomy, Stadium Tier Ranking, and the TCF Top 3 of Actors. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Today is episode 226 of the show. Make sure to find us on X at typical_Chicago. Facebook and Instagram, give those pages a like. For all of our content in video form, go on over to YouTube, type in Typical Chicago Fans, hit that red subscribe button. Also, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, if it still exists, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get them, we're there. Subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars, whatever you can, wherever you get them. You can find us there. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF, along with the gentleman that I am joined with tonight. Of course, that is Zach at Z, Alilia TCF, and Maddie at schools_01. Boys, spring weather, golf weather, a little too much rain this week, but that's all right. We're getting through. How you boys holding up?
Good. Yeah, it's been beautiful weather for golf. Yeah, it's been rainy, but it hasn't been too much rain as of late. But we need some rain every once in a while, especially if you do like to golf. And you can't beat this weather.
It's great. I'm a big fan, except for, like you said, it's the every other day of rain, right? It's been rain like every other day. I got to get my yard mowed pretty bad.
We'll be in the middle of June, though, and wish we had this rain.
No, July and August. Those are, yeah, we're gonna be praying for these days. Maddie, how you holding up out there?
My allergies it's been a devastating month.
Awful.
So it's just, yeah, I'm ready to. We're on to June. Let's just get to June.
Also, the cicadas. The cicadas, here they come.
Yeah, that's
true.
Not ideal.
Maddie,
it's supposed to be a hot summer too, according to the Farmer's Almanac.
Oh, yeah.
Yard holding up though.
God right, damn it! The Stars just scored an easy one, dude. Yeah, that's not ideal. Yard is in good shape. The fertilizer just kicked in, so pretty solid hue of green right now, about the same as the Dallas Stars that just are skating around like madmen after scoring. So yeah, Yard's in good shape. Grubs haven't taken over, so
it should be a TCF weather update.
Mulch is done. Pressure washed the deck last weekend. Pressure washed the front porch. So getting her shined up.
Love it. Zach, obviously you've been in the house, 4 years now?
Yes. I think so.
Got the yard all down pat, all good to go for the summer?
This is the first year I'm really going to try and do like the mulch, get some bushes out of there, some plants that I don't want there, and really start working on the yard, try and not let it get away from me like I do every year.
Well, you've had 4 years to plan, so I believe in your execution. You're going to get it done this year.
Here we go. I said this is a TCF weather update.
Weather, yard update, little lawn care. You know, we got a little bit of everything here. But as always, let's jump into things. Sinkers and floaters. My sinker is the city of St. Louis. I was there on Saturday. That place just has no redeeming qualities. I don't know. It's probably because I'm just a jaded Cubs fan. Like, the stadium's fine, but it was probably because it was raining and there's baseball there. Like, that's.
My brother-in-law has the shirt that says St. Louis is boring. That's so true.
Yeah, and I know it's just because I'm a meathead Cubs fan and I was there for the Cardinals White Sox game, but like, I don't know. It felt boring to me.
My wife had a great time in St. Louis last summer with our son, so she's obsessed with St. Louis for that reason. Because like the kids' museums are supposed to be really good. The zoo was great. Went to the Budweiser tour and all that stuff. So like they had a good time. I'm with you. I think the city's a pit. I hate it. The people suck just because they're Cardinal fans as much as anything. It's a drain.
I say what's in St. Louis is in Chicago. And more.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
An understatement there.
No, that's
the arch. Also, I'm out on the arch. I have a very strong fear of heights.
That ride up is not enjoyable.
No
capsule.
And then it's swaying back and forth, and dude, it's just like, this is supposed to be fun. We pay for this.
And what are you looking at? East St. Louis. Yay.
Yeah.
Do you guys have to pay to go up there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mine was on my senior trip, so I don't know if like you actually had.
Yeah, I went up with my family when I was a kid. It was a
Yeah,
It's a tight ride.
You're sitting in if you're heights or claustrophobia, do not go in there because the elevator is so small.
Yeah, it's like a little pill bottle, man.
So the one you at the bank when you get the one that like gets
Yeah,
sucked up
it's
there,
a fucking
that's like
bank
you
tube.
going
Yeah,
up to the
exactly
top
what
of
it
the
is.
arch.
You're right. It's exactly what it is.
Unbelievable.
That's a good way to put it. My aunt, when I was growing up, my aunt lived in a suburb outside of St. Louis. So we've done everything. And I, like Maddie said, that I remember the museums and all that good stuff when I was little. And obviously, we'll probably end up at some point having to take Roman down there. But as an adult, didn't have a whole lot of use for it.
Also,
And I
my senior trip
was
to St. Louis, which wasn't the biggest fan of, but we got snowed in, and we could do the tour of the stadium or the tour of the brewery. So we came here for nothing.
Yeah, you missed out on like 2 of the 3 things to do there.
Yeah, we went to like a nice place to eat or whatever, and then we hung out in a hotel in St. Louis. Fun.
Yeah,
I've never been to a Cardinals game there. I've only been to a Rams game and I've been to 2 Blues games.
I think I've seen a Cardinals game like across the way from what's the place called? Ballpark Village.
Yeah, that's what it is now.
It's a pretty cool place, actually. That place
looks nice.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's it. That's all we got.
I probably hadn't been to a game there since I was 16, so it's been at least 16, 17 years, and it was a fine game experience. It just, I don't know, didn't knock my socks off.
Yeah. Fellas, my sinker is Reggie Miller. Literally getting trolled as he's announcing the game. Commentary for the game. And Josh Hart comes over and goes, dude, they're talking to you. And I think he knew that. Yeah, but I've never been a fan of Reggie Miller.
As a Bulls fan from the 90s, I hated Reggie Miller. I called him Mr. Big Ears and laughed at him every time he failed.
I just don't think he's very good at commentating either. Like some of these guys get to do it because they were former basketball players.
I think he's boring. So yes. I'm with you. I was laughing very hard at that.
And he was very against the New York Knicks. It's like, dude, okay, let's just chill out a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the same thing. I was a big fan of what happened in New York, and that says a lot because I hate the city of New York.
And Josh Hart to go over and say that to him, that was hilarious.
Couldn't agree more.
I love it when they cuss on air too, and the announcer's like, whoa.
I have a hard time when the Knicks are like have like a lot of hype in the Pistons era when it was Billups. When it was Billups and Rasheed Wallace and that team, because like the Pistons I grew up with were like hated rivals, Isaiah Thomas and Lane Beer squad and Dumars and all those guys, and like so I had a deep hatred for them. And then after them, it was the Knicks, the Ewing, Mason, Starks, Charles Smith, the Mark Jack, those Oakley, like those Knicks teams, and it was another team I had a deep hatred for. So to this day, it's hard for me to like take any pleasure in their joy, like joy for either of those franchises. I like Jalen Brunson too. Dude's a dog, an absolute dog.
I was talking to some people about this, and like that's how much like that I hate Philadelphia. When they were playing the 76ers, I was all in on the Knicks, and I hate New York sports. I hate the city of New York. I think it's an absolute cesspool. I've been there twice. I refuse to go back. But like the fact that I was cheering for the Knicks shows you how much that I hate Philadelphia. But I think a lot of it does have to do with Jalen Brunson. And obviously Tibbs being there is a little bit of it, but I don't know.
Tibbs has that team absolutely run through a wall, dude.
Yes.
And he goes, hey, you guys are going to play every minute of this game.
Like, where'd this Hartenstein come from? Like, that guy's awesome, man. Like,
yes.
This guy's like, he's everything you'd want out of a post defender at this point in the NBA. Like, he's athletic. He can give you some offense a little bit here and there too. That guy's gonna make bank. Isn't he an unrestricted free agent? I think after this year.
I think so.
Yeah, he's gonna get a payday. I believe. I don't see how he doesn't, especially in today's NBA. He's a versatile guy. obviously the Villanova guys. DiVincenzo's a guy I
Crazy.
hated in college. I hated that guy so much, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he's very, very good. He's turned into a really good pro. Jason Hart, or Josh Hart, excuse me, is hitting, hit that monster 3 the other night to seal it. And
That's the funniest thing is like Philly fans are a lot of like Villanova fans, and then a lot of Villanova
now they gotta
players are
cheer for
going
those
to
guys.
New York to beat
Yeah.
the 76ers. That's
I mean,
pretty
imagine
funny.
if this team had Randall and OG
Yeah.
healthy,
Yeah.
like
Mitchell
I mean,
Robinson just got hurt too.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson's another one. Like that guy, Western Kentucky. I still don't know how they weren't better that year.
Tibbs is like somebody else is playing 48 minutes tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like 7 guys, 8 guys, and it's everyone's going.
It's always been
plus.
kind of the thing about Tibbs is like they always say he doesn't play enough players during the regular season, but hey, he gets the best out of them.
Yeah,
100%. Maddie, what's your sinker this week?
It's become probably when I'm able to jump on with you guys, it's like kind of a series at this point where it's me feeling old, and this week's version is the fucking Kendrick Lamar Drake rap beef.
Yeah,
I'm also
it is on it too.
So beyond what I can comprehend anymore. Like my rap beefs end up with legends getting shot, and that's all I know. So it's like
somebody did get shot in this one.
Somebody what?
A security guard.
Somebody shot at Drake's house and shot a security guard yesterday morning.
Let's see. I didn't even hear that, but
I'm
they
deep
make the
into
songs
this, boys.
too long.
I'm deep.
The songs are too long.
I just can't keep up. It's too fast.
You can't make an 8-minute song and think that I'm gonna listen to the whole thing and know what's going on.
And like my take on the rappers themselves is like there's songs from Drake I would say that I like, but it seems they're more where he's like collabing with other people. Are the ones that I like.
Or they're collabing with him.
Either way, sure. Yeah, you're not wrong. But I think I would say like Kendrick Lamar probably has more like lyrical ability.
Yes. You're spot
like
on.
the writing, the quote artistic form, and the
dude, they're rich and famous.
Nature of his rap.
This whole beef thing is so dumb.
It does feel a little manufactured. I'm so deep into it right now. I love it.
I can't stand it.
I'm on the same side
way
as Maddie here, though. I probably listen to more Drake, just like songs, that I've saved to Spotify or on my main playlist. I probably listen to more Drake. I think Kendrick is more talented, but I have listened to every single song in this beef. I'm so deep into it. And I think Kendrick's winning this. I think he is just – he has some deep-seated hate for Drake, and
I would not say that I'm,
I could care less.
I'm not a rap aficionado by any stretch of the imagination, but like I would say
First
one of
song
my
came out and it was like 8 minutes long. It's like, no, I'm good, dude.
One of my favorite songs from is got Drake in it. And I don't consider myself a Drake fan, and it's like I don't know how. I don't know. I guess I didn't realize how big he was, like from a sheer following. Like that guy's mega star, and I mean, you see him like bouncing around with like NBA teams and like Kentucky basketball and stuff.
Yeah.
I've been so past like pop culture, like knowing what's popular, what's in, who's like the top, rapper at this point. Like I still listen to music that I liked when I was fucking in college and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just stopped learning new music basically. So like I only pick up what is, enters my avenues as opposed to me seeking it out. So I don't know. It just this rap beef between these two. It just feels like it almost feels manufactured.
Okay, just make good music and let's move on.
Well, nobody's winning.
It's one of those things, Maddie. I'm kind of in a similar boat as you. I still, listen to way too many different genres and get involved in this. But like, this beef is kind of giving me the realization that like I'm almost 34. Like I probably shouldn't care about a rap beef like this, but I am just way too deep into it. But
hey, I mean, I find myself invested in a fucking
yuck my yum.
I find myself invested in a fucking Barstool reality show or fucking Jersey Jerry fucking running a marathon on a treadmill.
That was hilarious.
Like
what's on a treadmill?
I mean, who's to judge anything at this point in life?
No, they're doing it because they want people to listen. So
yeah,
I'm not even like a Jersey Jerry guy, but it's like fascinating to see him basically die on a treadmill. Like, I mean, what? His body
He's
just
so
broke.
funny.
He's a very funny dude. I'll say that.
Moving on to our floaters. Mine is simple. The day this comes out will be the day I finally get a haircut. So haircuts are my floaters. The long locks are gone at
We had
the
haircut
end
today,
of
too.
today on Friday. So it'll be a little under 2 years since they've even been touched. So it'll be my second haircut in 6 years.
Are you doing nothing at school?
Yep, my students are cutting my hair at the end of the school day tomorrow. Donating what I can. We'll probably tie it into like 10 ponytails, and then we've got been doing like a raffle thing. Kids can earn the tickets. We'll pull 10 tickets. They come down, they get to cut one off, and then immediately after school, I have an appointment at Sports Clips in Peru to get everything leveled out because it looks pretty atrocious when all is said and done with the scissors.
That'd be fun.
Yep. So I'm excited. I think probably just about as long as Maddie's known me, but like I said, it's been 6 years since I've even.
Your child's not going to know who you are.
That's one thing we were, but I wear my hair up most of the time.
I know, I'm just kidding, but it's just.
But
saying.
yeah, he's definitely going to give me a funny look because he's never seen me anything near short hair. But yep,
Owen's never seen me in anything except a picture without my beard. Like I've always had a beard.
Have you tried that where you cut it all off and show him and see if he?
No, and he'll never see it. I'm not exposing this fucking face again, dude.
Come on,
no way. No way. Not unless I lose about 150 pounds, dude. No way.
I think the world needs to see it.
The world has seen enough.
My floater is the Chicago Sky and the WNBA. I mean, no one's been talking about any preseasons before this. This is the biggest preseason. I know it sounds wild, but now they have their own private chartered plane, stuff like that for the first time, like ever, which is insane.
That is crazy.
They were just flying like commercial kind of.
With like idiots like us.
Yeah, what are we doing here? But I think what Caitlin Clark did in the college is going to come over to the WNBA, and it's really all the players that got drafted this year can really change what's going on.
I think that I can't remember who I heard talking about it, but like they made a great point, and like the women had a much more recognizable cast of stars than the men did this year. A lot more people
easily
were able to name, even going down obviously Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are one. But
I don't think there's really anybody that, unless you really watch college basketball and know the top 5 in the in the NBA draft.
Exactly. Maybe Zach Edey because he's been around for a while.
Probably 1 or 2 because whatever. But
like if you turn on SportsCenter, I mean, you see Cardoza and you see the South Carolina women's team, and even like talking about the NIL stuff and social media and Haley Van Lith, all these different names that are kind of more in the social lexicon right now. Like,
or even Angel Reese, she goes to the Met Gala and then next night she's playing for the Chicago Sky. Like, that's cool.
And they 50-piece New York.
Yeah, after everyone's like, "Oh, you can't be doing that," so whatever, and it's like, no, she can. I think it's going to be a fun season for the Chicago Sky. It's fun because you can watch it on marquee, so most Cub fans have that.
I'll buy into them if they can land that Paige Beckers next year.
Well, then you have to be bad though. That's the problem.
I know. That's true.
You don't want.
She's legit.
Oh yeah. As I didn't realize that she was not going to be in this draft. I thought she was. Yeah,
she returned. She returned. She's going to make bank in NIL money for.
Oh yeah.
Too. All right, boys. My floater is actually, how every year everybody always has those debates. I know we've had them a bunch of times with the best sports month of the year. Some people say October. You get your a lot of Marches out there, maybe a couple Aprils here and there. I think people are sleeping on May, boys, because last week you had the Derby, you had Canelo, you had UFC pay-per-view all in one weekend. You've got NHL playoffs going on, NBA playoffs going on. Major League Baseball's in full swing. NFL draft was, I guess that was technically end of April, so I can't take credit for that
last
one.
weekend.
However, we got Memorial Day weekend. You get like the Indy 500s that weekend. There's usually another big fight weekend. Is usually Memorial Day weekend as well. Very, very good month for sports.
I think the PGA
and
Championship
gambling
is in
purposes,
May.
especially. PGA Championship is in May now because it got moved. That's right. Used to be in August. But no, it's a good month, and especially when you pick fucking Mystic Dan to win, because that starts off fucking May like a dandy. So that was nice.
That does help.
That was awesome. So it was
I was happy that the favorite didn't win.
Yeah, it was. Thank you. Shout out White Randy Moss on Pardon My Take. He said Mystic Dan, if the conditions are crappy. Conditions weren't awful, but it still looked a little wet, a little soggy. I had 20 left in the DK horse account after my wife's throwing some bets out. I'm throwing some bets out. We had let Owen pick a couple, threw a couple in for him. And I was down to a flat $20, and I remembered the Mystic Dan talk as one of the cutaways was going to the track, and I threw that 20 on him. So that was a nice, few $100
Not
win.
too shabby.
Yeah. So May is a good sports month as far as I'm concerned. We got that one. We got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs have been ridiculous. That comeback last night by the Canucks. I went to bed. I had Vancouver money line. That was one of my friends and I were kind of going back and forth about them. They're down 4-1, come back and win 5-4 as I was asleep. Woke up and saw the winner. So that was beautiful after counting that as a loss.
The NHL playoffs have been so fun.
It's wild. Yeah. It's wild.
And they're almost all on ESPN.
Yeah, it's the NHL has been. I think last year they said that was the most viewed playoffs in the history, and I think they're going to shatter it this year. It sounds like so.
Yeah,
NHL is going to be look for the cap to grow, which is good for the Hawks, being they have the most cap space in the league. So NHL's on the upswing. I think here, boys,
for sure.
Couple years.
Definitely a good month. Hard to argue with there. Let's go ahead, boys. Let's jump into the TCF Sports Minute. We'll get started. It's been a while since we've spoke. Busy schedules here. But since we have last talked, Bears draft happened. You guys walk away with Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze in those first
Boomy's landlord.
Yeah, please.
I am so excited.
I love how excited you guys are too. That makes me so happy.
That's fine. On paper, this team
they're gonna be so good.
I know it's still
this is the exact same conversation.
They're gonna be so good.
All right, but let's just talk real. Let's have a real conversation for a second.
Here's the real conversation. They're gonna be fucking awesome.
I did not start this.
The Bears are gonna be fun to watch.
They're gonna be so good, dude.
They're gonna be fun to watch. And the NFL season kind of officially kicks off here. I think is it next Wednesday? Is the schedule release?
Yeah,
so that always is
kind
of like
shout out Schefter, the release of the release.
Yeah, it's all gonna be leaked because that's what always happens, which sucks because it would be fun if it was actually like a set time.
Week 17 for the division against the Lions.
Yeah, but it's always fun to get to look at the schedule and put all the W's that you would love to happen, but probably not all of them will happen. But I'm excited. It's fun to have. It's a good offense. It looks like Caleb Williams is he's at the games with his teammates. He's at Sky games, he's at the Cubs games.
Like a very, very much so a diva, bad teammate kind of guy.
Yeah. See, he's actually not.
Going with his teammates and just showing up in a chill mood and just being a normal guy at a Sky game.
That is what a guy like that needs to do, right? You get all the bad, LA people saying, "Oh, he's too Hollywood," all this stuff. Like he's doing the right stuff. He sure is.
When you were getting your internet fixed, Zach and I were talking. It was kind of like it almost seemed. I was saying how it almost seemed like some team like tried to poison the waters a little bit to maybe get him to fall or something. Because I'm not okay. Back to reality a little bit. I'll say I'm very optimistic about the season. I do.
And you guys should be though. I'm not going to take that. You should be optimistic.
On paper, they have done a very, very good overhaul to this roster.
Exactly
what you'd want to see. So I have zero complaints on how they're building it. That said, they've got some work to do, obviously, but all the talk about the bad teammate, the diva, all he cares about is himself. He's not carrying himself like somebody who, quote, was asking for equity in a team, which no one wants to, and is completely illegal and out of bounds on the salary cap laws and rules in the NFL.
It's kind of cool though.
It'd be sweet if he actually did, if he had the balls to like try to get it, but I don't know. It seems like he's putting in the effort. He's trying to acclimate himself to the city and buying into the organization pretty 100%. So
we got a long ways to go, but
yeah, for sure. But he's doing what you
hope. Yeah, he's doing the right thing in the moment.
And the chirps are getting a little less quiet, or I should say a little more quiet.
That's a lot of people wanting to hopefully him drop a few spots to them. So
I think
after the draft,
that's an interesting point, though, Maddie. You never know how some of those teams that think they're going to be slated, 2 through 6, have been thinking about this draft since October, right? And maybe, like you said, maybe throwing some stuff out there that is wild.
Picking third New England, like they've never doing something to soil the waters is beyond Robert Kraft.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. Anything else from the draft? I mean, Dunze falling you guys at 9 is just insane.
Bargains.
Thank you, the Atlanta Falcons.
The Michael Penix pick.
Dude, imagine them with Roma Dunze, him and Kirk Cousins next year. Like that's what you would want. But hey, whatever.
Well, with Drake London and Pitts and Bijan Robinson, like that's a loaded ass roster.
But that's also a team that really needed defensive help. And here's the thing, and
a lot
of
but they went for a quarterback.
Yeah, I know. And like
maybe the one thing they had.
The thing that like some people are saying, like, well, look what the Packers did with Jordan Love. I'm like, but also at the same time, Jordan Love was 21 and he was drafted 24th overall.
He's 25.
He's not 25 years old and drafted in the top 10. There's a
and you just signed a $100 million contract guaranteed with Kirk Cousins.
Jordan Love was the kind of guy that needed 3 years. Jordan Love needed 3 years to sit.
Exactly. That move still, it's been 2.5 weeks now. It's still 3 weeks now, whatever it is.
It blew my mind.
You know what? Maybe they'll be right, but still, I'm happy we got Roma Dunze. So
yep, all shook out. Anything else on I know the Bears only had a couple more picks in the draft. Anything else from there, boys?
Yeah, I think they got an extra pick in the 5th round. They made some trade.
Okay, put it.
They got the punter here from Iowa.
What punter in the 4th round?
Yeah, absolutely.
Iowa. Yes,
dude.
They say he's going to do things that no punter's ever done.
Field position in the NFL is a huge
punted like 300 times.
And when you have a defense that is going to put pressure on, you've got athletic guys in the backfield that guys that are making plays. Tyreek Stevenson's a big a ball hawking corner. You get the same from Kyler Gordon. Brisker's a big play guy. Obviously Jalen Johnson's an all-pro corner, one of the best in the league. Like you want to set that secondary up. You pin teams back. You let your defensive linemen get in the backfield, and you fucking let them work. And that's set up perfectly. Field position, get your rookie quarterback in good spots on the field so he can attack.
I love his accent. I love it. His accent's amazing.
I also may just be a little jaded. I remember when the Packers took J.K. Scott in the 5th round, and I kind of had the same mentality. And guess what J.K. Scott's doing now? You don't know because no one knows because he's not in the NFL anymore because he stinks. Like,
well, this is the Australian punt god, so we're fine.
It was a bold move. It was a bold move.
With it.
And I'm always like, still, any kickers or punters, the Cairo Santos.
Hey, they are people too, Boomy.
Right? I'm sorry, not Santos. Roberto Aguayo. Barely, Zach. But Roberto Aguayo getting drafted in the 1st round and being the worst kicker in the NFL still just burns in my brain. Anything else on the Bears before we move on, boys?
I'm excited. A lot of time left until the season. That's what sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving to the north side, the Cubbies right now sitting at 22-16, and guys, I feel like we just cannot get out of the injury room right here. Saw that Dansby's dealing with a little bit of a knee. Shota's coming back, or not Shota, I'm sorry. Seiya's supposed to be coming back here soon.
Sounded like he got delayed a little, right?
Yeah, it's still, it was supposed to be middle of this week. Now it's probably looking like next week. But I mean, 22-16 for the month that they've played, month and a half that they've played.
Starting pitching has been amazing.
Well, you look at 22-16, but they don't have anybody hitting like off the charts at all. When you look at their numbers,
they just got one hit by Dylan Cease.
Yeah, he's a good pitcher, but
but they have been struggling on offense for all the wins they have.
Big time. Between their bullpen and their hitting,
a lot of big time home runs have been happening, and their starting pitching has kept them in games. I mean, it's been unbelievable.
So, Maddie, you brought that up about the bullpen. What's the fix? Do you go out and you go crazy and trade some of these prospects for?
I think you got to get a closer.
Big name relievers.
You got to make a move and buy some type of, high level arm, at least for some of these higher leverage spots. You can't go to war right now with Elsley. Is like he's on another planet right now.
He's like
it's
not
good
yips,
for him.
Dude.
Things aren't going well for him, and Neris has never been trustworthy. When he wasn't, he was hit and miss with Philly.
He gets himself into some jams.
He's got good stuff, but it's so wild at times, and he just finds himself in these 3-0, 3-1 counts too frequently, it seems like. So I don't know. I thought Elsley was going to be fine, and that's the hard part, because you're stuck in this spot where everyone on Twitter or fucking radio or whatever you listen to or consume is saying Ben Brown. I'm not ready to make that move from him as a starter to a bullpen guy. I don't know that you want to fuck with him like that yet, and bounce him back and forth, or even if it's for a short time. I just don't know that that's a good way to work on a young pitcher. If that's what you got to do, because he's the best arm, and you let him focus. He's got he's a fastball breaking ball. It's not like he's not like throwing like Shota type 4 or 5 wild pitches at you, where it's just he's going to come at you with some power and good breaking stuff, and that's kind of what his thing is, and you can work with that out of the bullpen, obviously. So it might be better off where you're not facing a lineup 3 times. So if that's the way you got to go, fine. I'm not a fan of, I think that guy's got a lot of talent as a starter, and I don't necessarily want to piss that away. But yeah, I think you got to make a move. You got to trade for somebody and maybe trade for 2 guys. I don't want to go high level off the farm system. I don't think you need to. Because couple shrewd moves, and I think you could reinforce the pen, though.
I'm kind of in the same camp as you. I'd like to see him go get somebody, but at the same time, I'm not ready to, sell off a high prospect for bullpen help. That might be stupid of me.
I'm not throwing but
if you're around the trade deadline and you're in it to win it, sometimes that's just what happens.
Yeah, you're right. And
I agree, but that's fortunately where the spot where they're in is they've got some very high level talent that you don't have to give up, and they still have their guys in the 10 to 20 range that have some value that they can deal from. Yeah. So, they don't have to do anything with. You're not trading Cade Horton. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they better not.
You're not giving him up. You're not. I don't want to see a Casey or
there's a better
Contra
chance that Cade Horton is one of these guys they try to speed through AAA to put in that.
It wouldn't blow my mind if he keeps pitching well. He's got nasty stuff, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think this also might be one where there might be a guy who, not that it would be this name, but a guy like Craig Kimbrell who's bounced around and he's in Baltimore now.
That again,
and you can pick up for a cheap prospect that what I mean. A guy like that. Yeah, he is.
It's wild, isn't it?
On a very good Baltimore team. So
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like if they can just get everybody healthy, and at the end of the day, the guys that are in the bullpen now, you're professional ball players. Figure it out. Throw strikes.
I think they will. I mean, it's a long season. That's the thing about baseball is, if you're a bullpen
we're 38
pitcher,
games into it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. We got 130 something left. You can't just give up on a bullpen pitcher.
I'm with you there. Some things you probably can give up on, any of those futures you have about the White Sox making the playoffs, because they're tied for the second worst team in baseball, 10-28. They did beat the Guardians tonight.
They've been playing better.
Ever since they swept the Rays, it's improved. But good Christ, I couldn't tell you more than 3 players. There's Andrew Benintendi, there's Garrett Crochet, and I went and saw them in person on Saturday, and I still don't know if I could name. Nicky Lopez might be a guy.
4 hours to go see them play.
One way in a rainstorm. Don't even get me started. And then to pile on, because I don't like the White Sox, we stopped at a place in Springfield, place named after wings, not a main, like I would say if it was Buffalo Wild Wings, but it was a locally owned place, famous for their wings. Horrible wings, absolutely terrible meal. So
blame the White Sox.
It was the White Sox and the Cardinals' fault, but like, I don't know. What do you do if you're the White Sox? There's the
nothing.
The farm system's terrible. I mean, it's
Tony Phane's going to play 162 games.
Yeah, hopefully Paul DeYoung just keeps hitting home runs at a stupid clip.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team that really has no expectations. So if you're on the team, you're just kind of having fun with baseball. And
I mean, you think Luis Robert is having fun playing baseball right now?
Nicky Lopez, I heard in an interview they said that they are having fun. They go back and watch movies and play video games together. Go to dinner.
Brutal.
I mean,
it is brutal.
That would be a tough spot, though. You're still a professional baseball player, but you're just on a team that's just not built to win.
No, not at all.
You traded your best pitcher away before the season started.
Yep, it is bad, and like you said, Zach, though, it is getting a little bit better, and we talk about it all the time. Decent little venue to go catch a baseball game in, so could be a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, if you're a White Sox fan, you should be kind of happy that the prices are low.
Yeah, absolutely, and you got those sweet s'more milkshakes.
Yeah, I've got to try one of those.
Yeah, we got to get out. I'll be at the White Sox game on Wednesday. I am definitely hunting one of those down. I'm going to see the White Sox twice in 10 days. What am I doing with my life?
I need to figure this out.
Well, in my defense, I'm not paying for the one this coming week. So moving in to the indoor sports, the Blackhawks do not win the lottery. They
didn't get the 1 seed. That's insane.
Yeah, they got cheated.
I thought Chicago teams only had the number 1 pick.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I thought that was the agreement we all had ever since Derrick Rose, but nope.
Why does Edmonton get it 3 years in a row, but the Hawks can't get it too? Got it. That's.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Looks like Macklin Celebrini heading to San Jose. So, Maddie, I got to ask, who's the guy at 2? Because I've looked at 5 mock drafts, and they've all got this Igor something from Russia kid.
That's what I want.
What is it?
Sounds like Igor Demonov or something like that.
Demonov,
Good name. Good name. That doesn't sound like there's a ton of scouts that really have a ton of eyes on him. So being Russian, being kind of locked away in Putin land, you don't get to necessarily see those players as much as you could, like some of the college players. I'm all about maybe at this point the other high prospect, the guy. If you listen to the mid show, Chief was talking about was this Kalishnikov, the defenseman from Michigan State.
Yeah,
and I want to say he was from like Czech Republic maybe or something.
Belarus.
High level Belarus. There you go, Belarusian. He big defenseman, big dude. Like big frame, physical, kind of locked down. Another one of those, Vlasic type, defenseman that you can kind of just put back in your top 4, and you can count on 82 times a year to not make many mistakes. Lockdown defense is maybe the way to go when you have a guy like Bedard too, because you're going to be able to supplement around him relatively easily because he creates so much for other people. So at this point, maybe since you can't get Celebrini and go with that dominant 1-2 center punch like you would like to do with those two guys, now maybe you just change gears a little bit, go defense, and win on the back end a little bit early, and build around Bedard with some of this cap space you got, and maybe package some of these picks. They've got a ton of picks, tons and tons of picks. They got another pick later in the second round, or later in the first round, excuse me. I think number 20. So right now picking 2 and 20. So you could probably take that 20 pair it with they've got a ton of second, third rounders over this year and next year, an extra first, I think, next year as well. So you could probably take that 20 and slide up into the top 10 if there's another guy that they like,
Nice.
somebody like that. So I think there's a little bit of flexibility. They can still, they probably don't have enough to go get Celebrini and trade up from 2 to 1. I think that would take basically everything in their draft capital to probably do. And I don't think you want to do that at this point. So
No.
When you can still get, obviously, you're picking 2, you're going to get a really high end level, player at your choice. So I don't know. I don't have a ton of.
That was a name that I had jumped off to me. And what I read here, Maddie, third youngest player in NCAA hockey, 6'2", 208, 9 goals, 26 assists. That seems like a kid, and that, like you said, that's exactly.
It's a lot of points for a defenseman too in college, especially. It's a little bit different where the defensemen aren't scoring to the level like they do in the NHL with the power play attacks and things like that. So.
And whoever wrote this article on NHL.com said behind Celebrini is probably the most NHL ready player in this draft. So
I've gotten the one pick. I don't understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't vendetta. They don't want the Hawks to be good again.
No.
It's tough. Speaking of teams that won't be good, probably next year, the Bulls. The only thing we got here, Alex Caruso wins the Hustle Award, which I didn't even know was an award, but shout out Alex Caruso. At least
did not know that was an award, but man,
I like Alex. I like Alex Caruso. I don't know that I would be like, I won the Hustle Award, boys. Like, you know what I mean?
Despite the fact we got knocked out in the
this team, they went out in that tournament, win the first game, get you excited, and then go out and just blow the second game. Awful.
Yeah. It feels very participation trophy-ish.
Yeah. To me. And don't get me wrong, I love the way, like you said, love Caruso, love the way he plays, but it does feel like a fake award.
Oh yeah, you go down to Miami, you play a team with no Jimmy Butler, and you lose by 20.
Yeah, a game that was over at a halftime.
Yeah.
It's like a high school team awards night award, not an NBA official award. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah, that's hard to argue with. I want to say the Bulls are drafting somewhere between.
Doesn't matter, and who gives a shit.
16 and 20. Oh, I've already looked at the mock drafts. I can't remember
which French forward are they going to get that's not going to be over for 4 years.
This year's draft stinks.
It's bad.
Awful.
It's so bad. Isaiah Collier might be there, which I wouldn't hate. I do like Isaiah Collier. I like him as a college basketball player, not necessarily
Harrison Ingram.
At this point, Maddie, it doesn't really matter to me. I feel like this year's kind of like if they trade this draft pick, I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, it's a bad draft.
It is not good, but who knows? We'll see what happens. But
is Klingon going to be like the 1 or 2 pick?
They've got him slotted right now on the at the Ringer at 11. I want to say.
Oh, really? I thought I heard top 5 for him.
Let me see. Yeah, they have him at 11 going to the Bulls. So there we go.
Of course.
Wouldn't hate that. Whatever. Because right around him is a kid from France and another kid from France. So give me
Wemby?
Give me Dalton Connect. No, Zachary Riachar. Definitely didn't pronounce that right. And Tijan.
He's 7'4".
I'm fine with Dalton Connect, dude. That guy.
Give me Dalton.
If you can shoot, you can shoot. That guy can shoot.
Yeah. Give me somebody I've heard of. That sounds stupid, but at least I've seen Dalton Connect.
No, it doesn't. He can score, dude.
I want the guy from Oakland.
As what, your car insurance salesman or what?
No,
that's what he's going to be doing.
Is our 3-point shooter?
Well, that would be a very Bulls pick to take him. So
that would be funny.
The Bulls don't know what they're doing, but if you know what you're doing, here's something you need to be doing. That's getting yourself some Connect Roasters coffee, folks. You want to start your day off right, you got to check out our friends over at Connect Roasters Coffee. They work with Dom Frederick. They work with Ian Happ. They're in the Cubs clubhouse. You know it's good quality coffee. So make sure you check them out at connectroasters.com. Find them on X at Connect Roasters. If you're over in Bourbonnais, make sure you check out the storefront there. Connect Roasters, best coffee around that you're going to find. I promise you that.
I know Caleb's he's a recent father, correct? Didn't he become a father? Did we hear that or something like within the last year or two?
Yeah, his son was born not right after my son, but yeah, within the last year-ish.
Okay. I think we should have had an NIL deal for them, with Dalton Connect Roasters. Dad joke of the year right there for Caleb.
Dalton Connect Roasters. We got time. The draft isn't till June. We got time to work this out.
If they were based out of Knoxville, I mean, good God, it would have been the absolute easiest NIL layup of all time.
Well, if he gets drafted by the Bulls at 11, boom.
Dalton Connect Roasters. The Connect Roasters blend. You know what I mean? Like just the Connect
guarantee
blend.
that'll be good. Make sure you check them out.
Easy to go.
ConnectRoasters.com at Connect Roasters on X. So as always, a big shout out to our friends over in Bourbonnais at Connect Roasters. And like Maddie said earlier, it is a great month. We got the NBA, we got the NHL playoffs going on. It is a perfect month. Every night we got something else going on. So let's jump in. We're right now sitting in the conference semifinals. We'll start in the NBA. In the East, the Knicks on Wednesday night took a 2-0 series lead over the Pacers. Old Tibbs gets it done again. I don't see the Pacers coming back from 2-0. I don't think this series is necessarily over, but I think that the Knicks taking two, kind of hobbled there through the game two. They're just kind of hitting that stride right now. Do you guys think the Pacers can come back from down two?
The only chance they've got is I know Mitchell Robinson out for the series or out for the playoffs. So that'll start to have an impact on the team. But it just seems like this New York Knicks team is bound to at least make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I kind of got the same feeling. And like we talked about, they only play 7-8 guys, and they're running them 35 to 48 minutes a night. But
that's Tibbs' system.
If they can stay healthy, I think they're going to get to the conference finals. But I like I said earlier, I keep cheering for Jalen Brunson and Tibbs, so I kind of hope they get past the Pacers.
I agree. I don't have much to add. I think you guys nailed it. I think it's clearly New York series to lose at this point. And I actually think they're going to give Boston all they want. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for Boston. Just put it that way.
Boston's got to get there.
Yeah, Boston gets smoked tonight in game two, 118 to 94. Before this, I hate Boston right behind Philadelphia in my hatred list. But man, I thought they were going to be. I didn't know if they would lose a game. I
still think Boston's going to take this series, but did not expect them to lose one at home.
Yeah, this one also won't be a cakewalk for them,
and not by 24 though either.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell.
I think Boston's a good team. Obviously, loaded with talent. I don't think Boston is some like juggernaut NBA powerhouse squad of all time. So I don't know where that narrative came from. You know what I mean?
It comes from a weak.
I think it's because they're the best team in a really bad conference.
Yeah, comes from,
you guys nailed it. I think.
Then you also, I mean, this team is it's looking good.
Yeah.
For Cleveland. I mean, they're Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and they got a 1-1 series going back to Cleveland.
And not to mention, I mean, at the end of the day, Matt,
nothing to lose too.
Yeah, they won 64 games in the regular season. That's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, no one thought they were gonna do anything against Boston for some reason, and maybe they kind of look past them.
Yeah, I agree. You're probably both right. I think it's maybe a lack of not understanding how good the East actually was a little bit.
Yeah. But like you said, big night, Donovan Mitchell. Karis LeVert off the bench with 21 points. They're going to need to get nights like those. Their starting five did fine. Okoro had 12, Strus had 12, Mobley had 21, Garland 14, and Donovan Mitchell 29. But when you get a guy coming off the bench giving you a 20-piece, that's a lot.
I've always liked Garland. I think that kid's good.
I do too. I agree. Going to Cleveland, I think it's a little bit more of a dogfight than maybe we first anticipated out of that series. Moving to the West, the Timberwolves got the
Anthony
defending champs
Edwards
on their heels.
He is 22 years old. That
The
doesn't even make
funniest
sense.
part about that, Zach, is everybody before the draft was talking about worrying about, does he love the game of basketball, which is insane.
I think he does.
Yeah, and he loves kicking everybody's ass doing it, too.
And letting them know about it, too.
The DX chop was awesome.
Which one?
The DX chop. Where
they've exposed the way that maybe you should play Jokic in the playoffs.
They've just got him looking kind of silly, to be honest with you.
Jamal Murray throwing the heat pad out there.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, he's not playing good at all.
Granted, they beat him by 7 in game 1, but then they blew their doors off in game 2.
A team that has not lost yet, the Timberwolves.
They held the defending champs to 80 points in an NBA game in 2024. That says something right there. But, however, if there's any team that has a chance to crawl their way out of this, I'm never going to count Jokic out of it. So I don't think this series is over yet.
I don't think so either, but I think Minnesota, I think they got a chance to knock off the defending champs and keep it moving.
Yeah.
I would like them to. I think it'd be fun. They're a fun team to watch.
They are very fun to watch. Very fun. Maddie, you think that they're going to hold on, or you think that Denver's going to have something else to say here?
Yeah, I think it's hard to bet against Anthony Edwards at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Like you guys said, he's probably playing the would you say he's probably the best player in the league currently as we currently stand? I mean,
he is the best player.
It's hard to argue that the way he's playing right now. So,
and this Timberwolves team is going to be around for a while. I think.
Yeah,
their starting lineup is like their oldest player is 25 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tells you how old, like, you forget how young Cat is. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
And then the other one, it's there's about 8 minutes to go in game 2, but it looks like as of right now, Mavericks holding on to a lead, possibly going back to Dallas tied at 1. I think it's kind of crazy how fast this Oklahoma City team has come on.
It's fun to watch. They're fun to watch. They're also going to be a team that is going to be good for a while.
Well, they got picks on picks on picks. And
they still got picks.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're loaded.
I think
they're going to be. They're in a
I think
prime
in 2020, maybe it was 21, after they traded Paul George, maybe they had 26 picks in the next 7 drafts or something like that. If I remember,
they used one of those George picks for one. What a pro wants.
Is this Chet's first year?
Yeah, for SGA. What'd you say?
Is this Chet's first year or second year?
Technically, it's his rookie
he's
season,
a rookie.
but
he was drafted last year.
Well, and Wemby probably would have won it either way.
Yeah,
probably.
You feel bad for Chet because had he not gotten hurt, he probably would have won Rookie of the Year last year, and obviously with Wemby. But dude, this team's fun to watch. I mean, young and fun. And they don't care who puts the ball in the hoop.
NBA playoffs have been a lot of fun to watch all around.
Yep. I mean,
SGA might be the perfect player in the NBA at this point.
Just shows you that it sucks to say, but the regular season really doesn't mean much.
Yeah, it makes that point.
You really see who the good teams are and who wants to play basketball.
Matt, can you expand on what you just said? That SGA is the perfect player, because I'd like to hear. I don't disagree with you at all.
He's an unbelievable ball handler. He's super fucking smart. He doesn't make mistakes with the ball.
He was in the MVP race.
He knows. It seems to be like he's in that spot. The ball finds him almost when he doesn't have it. I don't know what it is. He has a knack for always being in the perfect spot to score, pass, or create. One of the three. And it's like triple threat every fucking time he's got the ball. It's wild. He's a good shooter. He's a solid defender, in my opinion, too. And the guy's just consistently gotten better every fucking year.
Well, as of
when he was at Kentucky, I did not think this is what he was going to be in the NBA.
I mean, the guy at the end of his rookie year got traded for Paul George, and it was kind of okay, the guy was a first-round pick. But as we're recording this, like I said, there's 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. He has 30 points, 11 boards, and 8 assists. Like you said,
where did Anthony Edwards go to college?
Georgia.
What'd you say?
Georgia. Never mind. He already got it.
I did. Who did you ask, though?
Anthony Edwards.
Oh, yeah. That was He was the number 1 pick on a team that didn't make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, you would never thought he went to Georgia.
Ben Simmons too.
Yeah,
Look
that's
at him.
true too. So, all right, right now, Eastern Conference Finals, give me Boston and New York. In the Western Conference, give me Minnesota. And for the sake of parity and the sake of experience, give me the Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. Who do you guys
I think
got?
it's going to be the Thunder and the Timberwolves, and I think it's going to be Boston and
New York.
New York. Yeah, I'll say New York.
Maddie.
Minnesota, Oak City, Boston, New York.
But I do
All
think
right.
it's gonna. I think the Pacers are gonna win at least a game or so in Indiana to make it go back to New York at some point.
I don't think we're going to see a sweep in any of these conference semis.
No.
I just don't think it's going to happen. Switching gears to the NHL, in the East, we've got the Boston Bruins and the Florida Panthers.
They love to fight. That last night was insane. The amount of times they fought. That was Panarin's second fight of his career.
I didn't even realize that.
Oh no, not Panarin.
Pasternak.
Sorry. It was his second fight of his whole career, which I thought was pretty nuts.
Yeah, and in the conference semifinals, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, not
Maddie,
the guy you
anything
probably
here?
want to fight either, because Tuchuk's kind of a fucking monster.
No, but he jumped him.
Yeah. No, I know. It was probably
That was
a couple
wild
extra
game.
shots he didn't need to probably throw in there either.
No.
But,
Maddie, you got anything on this series?
I hope Florida wins because that's who I got a future on. So
I hate
what
Boston, so I'm cheering for Florida too.
Yeah, I like this Florida team. I like Barkov. Barkov's fucking Jonathan Taves, dude. That's all. He's literally Jonathan Taves.
But yeah, that game got out of hand last night, and then it just started. I mean,
beating the brakes off of each other.
So many fights. It's like, let's just get this game over with.
Yeah, when a game ends 6-1, you can tell one team thought that the game was over, and they're like, let's just piss them off.
Come on. Let's go here.
Try to. In the other series, the Rangers still have not lost a playoff game. Maddie, is this team that for real?
Might be. That's just Sturkin's been fucking unbelievable.
It's New York's year.
Who's the crazy 6'7" kid that just fights everybody?
Rempe.
I love him.
Yeah, everybody does. He's kind of.
Everybody likes the fighter on a team. They like the guy who's going to protect the team. He'll fight anyone.
But I will say,
Adam Fox for them is unbelievable. Like that's the kind of Adam Fox, their D man.
Yeah,
it's like he's one of those guys. Like if that's the kind of guy you can land it to, like fine, sign me up. Sign me up 100 times.
We can't live in a world where the Knicks and the Rangers are in the finals of their.
Although my buddy is like one of my best friends since kindergarten, and so he was a diehard Bulls fan the same time I was. He sent me a text last night. He said the defense chant at the Garden still hits different.
Yeah,
and it rings that defense. It's like it echoes through the Garden. Like when the Garden's rocking, dude, it's gotta be a ride to be at.
It's so expensive.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true. Moving to the West, our two neighbors to the north, Edmonton and Vancouver. Vancouver, like Maddie said earlier, with a wild comeback, takes the series lead 1-0. I
don't know how Edmonton comes back from that. I don't know. That's a deflating loss. When, like the way that happened, it's brutal.
You got the game in the bag too.
Yeah, I mean that was like throat step. That was throat stepping time. They were dominating them.
They were up 4-2 going into the third period, weren't they?
They're up 4-1 at one point.
Jesus. Yeah, that's demoralizing, especially when you're on the road and you have a team, kind of on their heels, and then you let them off like that. That's brutal.
It's hard to say like a loss is devastating in game one, but that's a devastating game one loss.
Yes.
Like that. Those are those ones that are like, wow, that feels like two losses almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the weight of it.
100%. And then in the other series, I think these might be two of the best teams left. The Avalanche and the Stars. Looks like it's about to get knotted back
Yeah.
up at 1.
Stars is
Dallas
really
is
too.
Dallas is steamrolling tonight.
Yeah, they were doing that the other night too and lost.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. No, Colorado's obviously loaded. You have McKinnon, Makar. You can pretty
can
much count
score
on them
quickly.
being. You can count on that team being available in the playoffs every year, like late.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's two of the best players on the planet.
So as we sit here right now, Eastern Conference, give me Florida, and I have to. There's no way they're coming back from 3-0, but Florida and the Rangers. Western Conference, I love Colorado. I'll take the Avalanche, and it's got to be the Canucks. I don't think there's any way you come back. Are you guys on the same page? Or?
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Dallas Colorado series is probably a coin flip.
And I think that Boston Florida series is going to be pretty tight too. But at least we're getting some really good series. And outside of the New York series, the Rangers Hurricane series, I'm not sure we're going to see a single sweep in any either basketball or hockey.
That's good
in the conference semis. Yeah, that's definitely a positive here. So to check back in next week, we'll be a little bit farther down the line, have a couple more answers here.
The NBA playoffs take forever.
Yeah,
forever.
Especially when the challenge comes into play.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Not wrong at all there. Let's move into one. We're going to bring back a segment we've done before. I have made a claim that I can name 90% of the 368 NCAA men's basketball Division I nicknames. So we're going to do Stump Boomy here. These guys got some team schools, and I'm going to try and guess the nickname. The ones I get wrong, just a learning experience. But I found a game online that I've been practicing, brushing up. So you guys want to go back and forth here?
I'll go first. Bucknell.
Bucknell, the Bison.
I've never even heard of that.
Bucknell, they're in the Patriot League. Orange and blue. Pretty solid basketball squad.
Sacramento State.
Sacramento State. The California ones tripped me up, Maddie. You got me here. Hang on. Sacramento State. All right. I know they're green and gold. I've watched them play twice this year. May have had money on them. I'm going to go with the Hornets.
I heard some clicking and some Googling going on there. So.
Oh, that was my tongue. You can check the film. No Google. Was that right?
Yeah.
Was it really? Yeah. I almost said Vikings, but that's Portland State. So.
All right, Boomy. Stetson.
The Hatters.
What is a Hatter?
Okay, so do you know a big cowboy hat, a nickname, or one of the major brand names that make cowboy hats is Stetson Company, which is in Stetson, Florida. They make hats, so they call them the Hatters, the guys that make the hats. That's also where either Chris Sale or Jacob deGrom went to college. Fun fact.
Very. Southeastern Louisiana.
Oh, it's something with a lion, but they're is it like the Golden Lions?
It's just the Lions.
Is it just the Lions? They're green and gold. I know that.
Yes, they are.
All right. Well, I was half right. I thought they were one. There's some schools that are like the purple aces, like Evansville, and have that weird.
I was literally about to say Evansville. I swear to God, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, Evansville's the purple aces.
That's crazy. Okay, we'll do one more.
All right.
Man, I gotta find a new one.
What are the odds? 300.
That's insane.
They also wore sleeve jerseys well through the 80s. The Evansville Aces also had a terrible plane crash where their entire team, except for one coach and one player, died.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Furman University.
The Paladins.
What is a paladin?
I don't know. I think it's something of
the royalty. Big old bird.
Is that what it is?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
I couldn't remember if it was something.
You know what? Royalty. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong.
Are you thinking of Pelicans?
No, I think it's I think you're right. I think it is like a Civil War. I think pretty sure it was something dating back to that.
Like a general or something, or like someone
Yes.
of like higher
Yes,
status,
that might be
higher-
a good way to put it.
I'm Googling it. Maddie, you got another one? A paladin. Oh, this is from like Charlemagne's court in the 8th century medieval, like a warrior kind of.
Yeah, there you go. So we're both wrong. Southern Utah.
They have a bird as their mascot, I believe. Give me a second here.
Gotta pull up the Twitter machine real quick.
Southern Utah. You might have got me here, Maddie. I know their mascot. They're red and black, I think. Yeah, because it's Utah Wesleyan is the Wolverines.
Count him down, Jeff D'Lo.
You got
Zach D. Lilia.
Southern Utah.
10, 9, 8, 7.
The Hawks.
Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds. I knew it was some sort of bird. They just became Division I like within the last 4 years, so
Yeah,
that's when I'll brush up.
Ago.
All right, boys, that was fun. I can't believe I pulled the Hornets one out of my ass.
Yeah,
Hey, unfortunately,
my D1 obscure nicknames.
Some more sad news. Stump the Schwab passed away.
Yeah, RIP. That guy was a legend.
That's the guy who kind of got me into sports. Obviously, my dad, being into it.
It was a great show. We should have let that show go on longer.
Loved the Schwab. Absolutely. We'll keep doing that. I gotta get to it. I think I was 5 for 6 here tonight, so gotta keep getting those numbers up. We'll move into one here, boys. Everybody's seen the tier ranking that goes around on social media. We're gonna do the National League Baseball stadium tier. So if you see here on the screen, if you don't, it's basically S at the top for superior, and then it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, kind of like a school grading system, but with an E in it. So let's go through. We'll start in the East. I'll read it off. Zach, you give yours. Maddie, you give yours, and I'll give mine here. So we'll start in the East. We're going to go down the standings right now. So the Philadelphia Phillies, where do you put the Phillies on their stadium?
I'm going to put it like an F. E.
You don't like that one?
Phillies? No, it's not a very nice place to be.
Yeah, that is true. It is Philadelphia. That goes into play there quite a bit. Maddie?
Yep, C because of the quality of the environment. It would have been a B if you standalone stadium, but I'm factoring the experience, so I'm going to go with a C for Philly.
I would put it at a C if you don't consider the fact that it's in Philadelphia, so it drops to a D for me for that simple fact. It's not a bad stadium. It's an average stadium, but the people there make it a lot worse. Atlanta Braves, their new stadium, I think it's 6 or 7 years old. Zach, you got one here?
I'll put them in A. It's a very nice stadium.
Hard to argue with. Maddie?
I
think it's called Truist Park now.
Yes, it is a Truist. I'm going to go with C as well there, too. Not a big fan.
I'm going to go with Zach here. I'm going to go with A, and a lot of this has to do with the environment around it. I was actually, me and my dad went down there the first year it opened to see the Cubs play, and they have built an entire town right outside the stadium.
Nice.
Kind of think about Wrigleyville on steroids. I think 2 or 3 streets. They've got a theater there, restaurants, storefronts, everything. It's up there with some of the best. And in the stadium, it would have been probably a B for me, but they have a Waffle House in the stadium, so it moves to an A for me. New York Mets, Citi Field.
I'm gonna go with a D. It's all right. It's so hard to get to.
That is fair. And Zach, if you guys remember correctly, popped a tire in their parking lot.
Yeah, you did do that, so that would make your experience less.
Maddie, you got one on Citi Field?
I've never been there. I don't like New York. I don't like the Mets, so I'm going to go with a D.
It's a fine stadium. I like the actual stadium, and they have a Shake Shack inside. I did the tour there, so I kind of got to see a little bit of everything. It's a B stadium. Like Zach said, it is a nightmare to get to, but actually once you get inside the stadium, really nice place. I really did enjoy it. we'll speed this up a little bit. The Nationals, pretty solid park. Zach, you've been there a few times. Where do you got that?
I'm going to go with a B. Very nice stadium.
I'm going to be hard to disagree. Maddie?
And you start doing some S's.
Never been there. I'm going to give them probably, and I wish I could give them an I because I can't even think of anything that like stands out about it like when you watched on TV. So I'll go with a D for that purpose.
Maybe we'll make that's what E is for now on when we do these. E is incomplete, but it's spelled wrong. ENCOMPLET.
Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Maybe the way it should be.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Zach. No, it's a fine stadium. It's a C for me. DC is a disaster to get around. But it's a fine stadium. I didn't dislike it. I saw a game there, did a little tour. It's fine. There's nothing super special about it. And then to finish out, the only stadium in this division that I have not been to, the Miami Marlins.
I'd have to go like a C. I mean, it looks like an amusement park.
I'm gonna go with a D, zero character. Again,
so when
some of these stadiums have no character.
When they first opened it, I would have put it in the A. But since they took the sweet dolphin statue out, it moves down to a D for me. And they took out the aquariums behind home plate. What are we doing here? Leave the fun stuff. It's a D. Like you said, zero character there. Let's move to the Central. The Milwaukee Brewers, whatever they call it now, America. Come on. Think of it as the actual stadium, not the fact that we hate it.
Okay, let me think. F.
I'm gonna go with a B because I like the stadium itself. There's usually good like sight lines and stuff.
It's easy to get to.
Easy to get to, and like you can tailgate. So I'm gonna go with that's a bonus for me. So B.
It's an A for me. It takes me the exact same amount of time to get from my house to the stadium there as it does for me to get from here to Wrigleyville. The tailgating scene is phenomenal. It's got a dome, and I don't know. I think it's one of the better ones. And yeah, I don't like them because they're the Brewers, but it's up there in the stadiums. We could all agree. Wrigley is an S. Do we have to do this?
Yeah, that's an S.
I actually am gonna go A. It's not in my S tier, but it is an A. It's elite in terms of history and nostalgia. The food and the parking situation's a problem. It's not. We cannot forget those things. The food is an abomination.
You guys ever remember the early bird special? You get to 2 hours before the game started. It's cheap. Food was cheaper.
Yeah.
I do not do that anymore.
The food is a situation that it's just not ever gonna. It's not gonna work. Sorry.
It's all right.
Pittsburgh, PNC.
S. I've never been there, but it looks elite.
Absolutely beautiful. I was there, right when it first opened up, right around that time when I was younger, and man, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's got the throwback feel that I like. So
it's right up the river there.
The river scenery, the
skyline
bridge right
behind
there.
it. Oh,
yep. It's an S here too, dude. I've been there 2 or 3 times. Great food there actually too. Right there on the river. It's just perfect sight lines. I love it. It's one of the best out there. Cincinnati.
F.
Maddie?
I'm gonna go with the C. There's not much to it when I look at it. I don't know. It feels like a launching pad, but there's nothing to see when it lands. Like there's nothing cool that it lands into.
Yeah, it's probably between a C and a D. I'll bump it down to a D. There's lack of personality at times. It's got the stuff in center field and it's got the river and right field.
You know more about the ballpark village than you know about Busch Stadium.
Yeah, that's my next one. Busch Stadium, like I said, just there. It's fine. It's a C to me. It's a fine stadium, but it's in St. Louis and the Cardinals play there.
Wait, what did we just do?
Cincy.
Oh, no, not an F for me. Sorry, I thought you said I just assumed you said the Cincinnati is a B for me. I think it's a very nice stadium.
It's not bad.
Been there.
Yep. So what do you guys got on the Cardinals?
Cardinals F. Sorry.
Let's move to the West. Dodger Stadium.
F.
E,
I mean, E,
F.
I guess it's
Take your
incomplete, but
pick,
like
E or F. Flip a
no
coin.
character to it.
Yeah, F.
No
I've
character.
been
You're
there.
probably gonna get in a fight or get shanked.
And it also
it's
takes you
just like a
4
problem.
hours to get there and 4 hours to leave.
Yep,
No.
it sucks. It's old.
And like you're
people
just with a
don't-
bunch of douchebags too.
People don't talk about that enough. I think it's like the third oldest stadium in Major League Baseball. It's
crazy.
Chavez Ravine.
And if I'm not mistaken, they forced a lot of low-income people off of their land so that they could build the stadium. So
That's awful.
screw the Dodgers. F. We're all in agreements there.
F.
Should have stayed in Brooklyn.
Amen to that. San Diego, PNC. Or not PNC.
Petco,
I have to go
S.
A.
S-
I've never seen it. It
S
looks
tier.
very cool.
S tier. I'm
It
back
is
there next month. 1 month from today, June 9th.
Oh,
Sunday
man.
against the Diamondbacks.
Maddie likes his San Diego.
Owen will have been to 2 Padres games and 0 Cubs games. Fun fact.
No,
huh?
that sounds like bad parenting, if you ask me.
Easy with that. Jeez.
I'm just kidding. No, and Maddie, I have to take that back because it is one of the coolest stadiums.
Yeah, it's a very, very cool stadium.
It's got the
It's
little,
in a good-
or something.
It's in a good spot. Like Coronado Bridge is right across from it, so you got like that scenery in the downtown San Diego area is like really popped up in that neighborhood.
The only thing I had
Cool
to say
ass
is like if
sound.
I'm in San Diego, a baseball game would be like at the lower end of my list.
I
yeah,
don't
but
know, man.
in that same breath, though, Zach, there's not a ton. Like, there's not as much
I know
to do in
it's
San
so
Diego as
beautiful.
there is in LA.
I want to be out and about. I wanna go to the
It's
beach.
like it's just a beautiful. It's just the factory or the warehouse, excuse me, in the in left field too is still an awesome look to it.
Yes. Maddie, you take them out to that little like that grass area beyond center field. It looks like they have like it's kind of like like Gallagher Way.
We didn't last time, but this year's game it happened to be like their kids' day or kids' fest.
Nice.
So like they're gonna have like bounce houses and shit like that all over the place, like during the game and stuff. So
Maddie, you're gonna end up with a little Padres
heaven.
fan running around that house by the end of next month.
He's got like the last year when we went, it was Manny Machado bobblehead night, so he's got 3 Manny Machado bobbleheads in his bedroom.
Oh, that's great. Moving on down the Arizona Diamondbacks, Zach, who you got?
I'm gonna go with like a C. It looks all right, but that pool is disgusting.
No, that pool's sick. What are you talking about?
I would never want to get in that pool.
I will belly flop into that pool immediately.
Ugh.
This is an A. This is an
There's
A.
not enough chlorine in the world.
I'm belly flopping in.
I'm gonna go with the B. I like the pool look. I like the idea of it, but the rest of the stadium is kind of meh to me, so I'm gonna go B.
That's fair. San Francisco Giants. Oracle is what it used to be called.
I mean, that's an A or an S.
for me.
I mean,
It's an A for me only because I'm going with the 1S only, so I'm going A.
I'll move it to an S. That's right. It's right there on the
that place
bay.
looks
It's
awesome. The glove,
Yep.
everything just looks so cool.
Being on the bay itself there, like the
Awesome.
backdrop's incredible.
It is phenomenal. Last one, the Colorado Rockies.
Also
I
an
have
A
been
for
there.
me.
I'll give it an A. Very
I love
cool.
it.
Very
Love that
nice
place.
stadium.
Worthy of an S in my opinion, but I picked Petco instead of it. I loved Colorado when I went to Coors.
Also, just a
Awesome
very
neighborhood.
chill area around it too.
Yeah, has a touch of a Wrigley vibe to it on a much smaller scale, like
Yep.
outside of it. Even inside, I think it's got like a new age Wrigley vibe to it. It kind of felt like
You're just
to me.
nicer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys. I'm gonna go A. It's as close to being an S, like you said. I mean, me and Zach rip scooters around the bar, right outside of it. It's right up there with environment, and Denver's a great city, the views, all that good stuff. So it is 100% there. That's an A for me.
When the sunset's going down there, it's like it's a perfect baseball backdrop.
Yep, bingo. Let's move on. Let's finish things up. We've got the TCF top 3, as always, boys. We've got actors this week. So the TCF top 3 of actors. Does anybody want to go first?
I do. Leonardo DiCaprio, my favorite actor. I love Leo. He's just great in all of his movies.
I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of pushback from me. There's not a whole lot
Catch
of
Me
Leo
If You
movies
Can
I
is one
don't
of the
like.
best movies I've ever seen.
Can I go second, Maddie, or do you want to go?
No, by all means.
Adam Sandler, my favorite actor of all time. That shows you how different my brain operates. But Adam Sandler is without a doubt my favorite actor. People can say whatever they want. Outside of like his super serious movies, Adam Sandler's got all my favorite movies.
He's made a lot.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's fair. But I am what I am.
No, I say he's made a lot of movies.
Oh, I thought you said it explains a lot.
No.
I'm going to
like Adam
go
Sandler too.
He wasn't around for a long time in terms of elite movies that he was a part of, but he is 3, technically, I guess 4 with Trading Places, Coming to America, and the first 2 Beverly Hills Cops. Eddie Murphy was a legend for my book. So I'm going Eddie Murphy, my first rounder. The second rounder, I'll go a little more traditional actor chops. I've never been a huge fan of him. Like, just I've never like thought to myself like, wow, I'm a big fan of fucking this guy. But you know what? I just thought of someone else. I'm going to switch it up on you. See if I can get my guy that I was just about to take in the third round. I'm going to let him sit for a minute. I'm going to go with Tom Hanks now.
All
Forrest
right.
Gump, just an elite movie. Obviously, the rest of his, him and Saving Private Ryan, he was outstanding there.
Castaway. He doesn't have any misses.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Tom Hanks was in a movie basically by himself for an hour, and like it was enjoyable. So literally him in a fucking volleyball. So
that's fair. My second round pick, I'm gonna go Denzel. Just feel like we were raised in like the heyday of his movie run.
Man on Fire was like that was some shit in that one, dude.
Which one?
Man on Fire, the one
where
he was. That was a good movie.
Yep, and then obviously you think about
John Q. Remember the Titans.
Training Day,
obviously.
You get wet, Jake. Thanks, Maddie. I appreciate that little chuckle. Zach, you got 2 here.
I'm gonna go Zach Galifianakis. I think the character he's been in a lot of movies, but the characters he's been, like he's just a great actor per se.
You ready to let the dogs out? Was that line still to this day makes me fucking. It just still gets me every time.
Zach, please tell me that you have watched that Between Two Ferns.
Yes, I mean that's.
Dude,
I guess you wouldn't consider that acting per se.
The Wolfpack line.
Oh, the movie. You talking about the movie, Boomy?
Yeah, the actual.
I've never really seen the movie. I've seen like the skits though.
Yeah, that's basically the whole movie is those skits. There's just a story behind what he's doing.
Oh, I guess I should watch that.
Yeah, I think it was on Netflix, so it's worth a watch.
And then I have one more, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna go Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell.
That's a good pick. You stole one from me here. That's a good pick. There's so many choices. I'm going to leave out somebody. And I like, obviously, if I take Adam Sandler 1, 2, I'll do it. He's obviously a hot topic, but Will Smith. There's so many of his movies that I like. I'm not necessarily crazy about the guy, but like he made so many movies that we grew up on.
I mean, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah. I mean, Men in Black series I was a big fan of for a while, so I'll go Will Smith. Maddie?
I got my guy. He fell to me. Almost took him in the second, fell all the way down. The same vein as Leo. I'm going to go with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, that's hard to argue with too.
Between is mainly for me, it was 2 characters: Tyler Durden, Fight Club, and then Aldo Raines in Inglourious Basterds are 2 of my favorite movie characters of all time.
Yeah, there's so many different iterations.
Inglourious Basterds is such a good movie.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying earlier. Was like, it's not a guy I've ever thought to myself, I'm like a fucking Brad Pitt stan or something. But being that 2 of my favorite characters are his, like it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's fair. Let me go through a couple of the IMDb top actors. You give me a yes or a no. De Niro, yeah, he would be.
Yeah.
Plus, thumbs up. S
Jack
tier.
Nicholson,
S tier.
yep. Daniel Day-Lewis,
Overrated tier.
ah,
Yeah, I'm not a
Can't
fan.
really-
He's one of those guys that has to tell you how fucking great he is. Like, I'm such an actor that I have to
The
like
method
immerse
acting.
myself. Yeah. Give me a break.
yeah.
I'm Abraham
that's
Lincoln. Now talk to me like I'm fucking in 1859, please.
Here's one I almost put in, and I probably should. Jim Carrey,
Yeah, but he's
I
also
like
a guy
him.
that's very into his character.
yeah. Morgan Freeman,
Yeah, elite. S tier. Christian
Johnny
Bale,
Depp.
S tier. Christian Bale
Johnny
is
Depp,
elite.
I felt like I'm not the biggest Johnny Depp guy, but clearly, his career speaks for itself.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yep, that one's hard to argue with.
Who I think he's a little overrated too, because I mean he plays the same character in like every movie.
Yeah. One I thought about going with the third round, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Tommy the
R.I.P. Heath
F-word.
Ledger.
Yep, Ledger was definitely up there. Any other ones that I'm leaving
Christian
out?
Bale was one of that I was thinking of too. Christian
Robin
Bale's
Williams.
Thoughts on Seth Rogen?
Love Seth Rogen.
good. Yeah.
Right up my alley. My kind of movies. Bill Murray. Bill Murray
Yeah.
was a big miss on my end. Nicolas Cage. I love Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, let us know who your guys' favorite actors are, because that is all we got for episode 226 of Typical Chicago Fans. Make sure you check us out on X at typical_Chicago. Find us on Facebook and Instagram at typical_ or Typical Chicago Fans on there. Just give those pages a like. You can find us on YouTube for all of our content in video form. Make sure you subscribe there. Wherever you get your podcast, subscribe, rate, review. 5-star reviews, whatever you can, wherever you get them. Tell a friend, tell a couple other friends. You can find me on X at Boomy TCF. Of course, Maddie at schools_01 and Zach at Z. Lilia TCF, we appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back here as soon as we can for episode 227. But that was 226 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.